Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to You Draw, I Build, or YDIB for short. I've asked members of my Discord community to submit some wonderful drawings, and today I'm gonna bring them to life in Scrap Mechanic as best I can through whatever interpretation I happen to take of these drawings. So first up, we have a drawing by Blue Flame here, and if I'm interpreting this correctly, it looks like it is a type of explosive launcher that is powered by thrusters to create some type of centripetal force, and it uses spud guns to shoot cardboard that then releases the explosives and therefore launching them. This isn't the simplest one to start off with, that's for sure, but I think I can probably simplify it a little bit. My main concern is I don't know if the releasing mechanism is going to work if it's spinning that fast, because sometimes the spud guns, when things are in motion, they don't tend to work that well. But that's not going to stop me from trying. So we need some cardboard, we need some mountable spud guns, we need some explosives. We already got the bearings in the inventory. We need some, where's the thrusters? There we go, we got some thrusters. And of course, some building blocks. All right, so let's build ourselves a nice heavy base here. Now, of course, this is a very professional drawing. It has a nice triangular shape to the base. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Actually, before we complete that, we need to know how tall this thing needs to be off the ground. How much room are these going to take up? So let's build the actual rotating part here. So for the sake of simplicity and also time so we can get to other drawings, I am going to simplify this a little bit. We're only going to have 4 explosives rather than the 8 I think this picture has. Okay, so I think I've built a good spinning mechanism. I got my spud guns built directly into it that are as close as I can to the cardboard block, which is attached to the explosive. So when these spud guns shoot this block, it should release the explosive. And then, of course, we have thrusters going all the way around to just help push this thing into a circle. So now we need to actually attach this to something. All right, there we go. I've welded it to the base. So now let's go ahead and finish building this thing out here. All right, looks like it's going to spin. So now I need to be able to have these release the explosives at an appropriate time, because when it releases in the rotational cycle, it's going to determine the trajectory, assuming that it's even going to release at all. I mean, we just probably have to dial in the appropriate speed. The faster it goes, the more unreliable it's probably going to be. So my method here is going to be sensors. And these sensors, as they spin in this direction, it looks like, they will then detect this, presumably, and that should trigger them to release. And I'm assuming there's going to be a slight delay in the release, so hopefully it'll actually not release straight up, but release over to the right. All right, I'm just realizing that this is going to have to be a little bit closer so the sensors don't detect this bar right here. Okay, so I've hooked it up so that if this sensor detects this bar and this button is pressed, it will then trigger this spud gun to hopefully detach this explosive. So now let's hook up a button to activate the thrusters, and I think we're ready to put this thing to the test. All right, if we start it spinning, it looks like the sensors, I think the sensors are activating as we do this. So this is middle of the ground speed, middle of the road here. So let's see if we can fire anything. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, you can hear the spud guns shooting. Not nearly as fast as they even should be shooting. What is going on? All right, here we go. Ready? Oh, there. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Why? I haven't saved this yet. I don't know why I'm so stupid sometimes. I have not. Why didn't I save this before I started this? I could have just destroyed all of this work. The issue that I also forgot to set all this other sensors to two blocks, so only one of them was actually detecting the bar here. But exactly the issue I was worried about is happening right now. And the spuds are not actually hitting the cardboard, unfortunately. So as this thing spins, I mean, you can hear the spud guns clearly shooting, but when the things are in motion, they just do not do a good job at hitting the cardboard. I don't know the best way to remedy that. See, as it slows down, eventually, there we go. See, now... And that is why I saved this thing. Imagine if that happened before I saved it. That would have been terrible. Because, yeah, the spud gun is directly against the cardboard. So, I mean, as you can see, it should It should do it, but it doesn't work when it's in motion, unfortunately. And it seems like the minimum speed is really, really slow. Wow, that was actually pretty epic. Okay. Even if it doesn't work as intended, that was worth it right there. Yeah, it hits itself. That's so cool. Yeah, this is probably not at all the main intent of how this is supposed to function, but it seems to reliably do that, which is still pretty cool. Look at the mess we're making. Okay, there's only one other solution that I'm gonna try here, and that is to have the guns shooting from this perspective. I am afraid that it's gonna end up hitting like the explosive instead, but I figure if the gun is more in line with the direction of travel of the cardboard piece, then there's a better chance that the spud will hit where it's supposed to hit. All right, here's the new design. Let's hope these spud guns are more accurate. All right, and here we go. That was kind of, a delayed annihilation. So, in theory, it's a great idea. I was really hoping to see it work as intended, but instead, we got this, because, you know, scrap mechanic physics. Okay, speaking of scrap mechanic physics, we got this thing here by Dompan, and at first I was like, what even is this? Until I really studied the implications of what's going on here. So by the looks of it, we have stacked suspension that is attached to a piston at the top, and then that piston is going to compress all of the suspension underneath itself. And then a spud gun is going to detach that piston essentially from the rest of the creation, meaning that it is no longer going to have anything to push against, so the suspension should immediately retaliate and launch it up. And if we're standing up there, which it says you are here, then we should get launched up. So is this going to work as intended? I want to find that out. Let's build this thing and see what happens. So this drawing only has 3 suspension in it, but I'm gonna go up to 4 just to have that extra resistance. And I might also double stack suspension like this. Just because if this thing's gonna work, I want to really see it work. All right, so I got this switch hooked up to the piston, so you can see the pistons clearly are compressing the suspension, so I guess the idea is once this gets detached right here, we are just gonna get launched. So the idea also, I guess, is to have a sensor end up triggering. Here, let's actually put the speed of these up so this all happens much quicker. So the sensor should be triggered once it gets down to the spud guns, and that sensor should trigger the spud guns themselves. All right, I think it's ready to go. So we just stand right here, I guess. And 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, you know what would probably help? Probably help if I hooked up the spud guns into the sensor, huh? All right. And 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, it actually works. You know, I'm gonna, let's go ahead and respawn this back in. How much can we strengthen this suspension? We can totally launch ourselves better. Oh, whoops. Okay, I want to figure out how much can I strengthen this suspension before the pistons give way. Because the stronger we can get this suspension, supposedly, the more energy is going to get built up and the higher we should launch, right? Man, at some point, are these just stuck? Am I going to be able to put this back up and then back down? Wow, these pistons are strong. All right, let's go up even more. Okay, too much. Okay, all right, I think I found the limit. I think I found the limit is right here. Okay, in theory, this should launch us much, much higher. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that's what's gonna happen here. You know what we need to do? We need to put ourselves on a toilet. All right, so I give myself a 5-second countdown so I can get in this toilet before it's too late. All right, here we go. Any second now, this should totally work. Oh, yeah, see? All right, that has a lot more power now. That definitely has a... Okay. Fascinating. All right, so it works. It works exactly as I expected it to work. So that's a win. That is definitely a win there. All right, up next by Meme Boy. This is a drawing that I'm not actually gonna build what is exactly drawn here because there's only one part of this drawing that stood out to me that I just really wanted to see in action. And that is not the Santa sleigh, not the detachable present bomb, but the thrusters that are supposed to represent the reindeer on Santa's sleigh here. Because apparently these are just independent thrusters that are attached by ropes, essentially. Not like, not real rope, but ropes made out of bearings and stuff. I'm just really intrigued to see what happens if we have a sled that is pulled by completely freely rotating thrusters on some type of rope system. So out of my interpretation of this drawing, that is my focus, is just the thruster part. So I'm just gonna build a basic sled and then make some thruster ropes and see what happens. Okay, so the hard part about this is gonna be the thrusters, because the thrusters only attach by one point. And I need to be facing the other way. So I've got to figure out how to, I think, okay, let's make this a little bit longer. I think if I do this and then have this go back, that gives me enough room. Only over here though. That's good enough. And then I can continue on to the next thruster. Best way to do that, I think, is to just duplicate this where we are right now. And then we can go ahead and weld the end of one to the front of the other. And now we've got two thrusters on a rope, just like that. All right, and here it is. This is basically gonna be like the worst pod racer you've ever seen. Because these things, they have no stability to go in any real direction, I don't think. This is gonna, here, let's do a quick example of the stability here. Oops, I missed a paint spot too, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so basically there's no obligation for these thrusters to do anything stable whatsoever. And that's gonna be the fun of it. So I put them on max power because I feel like that's a safe starting point. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in and we're gonna see how fast Santa can deliver presents when he swaps out reindeer for thrusters. Here we go, in 3, 2, 1. It's exactly as chaotic as I was expecting it to be. There was a little part of my mind that thought I might go straight for a little bit before the thrusters end up going wild, but nope, it was instant chaos. This is fantastic. Oh, it's everything I hoped for. Oh man. It's, you know, it's not very often when you get to see something being as unpredictable and crazy as this, and also get to say, yes, this is exactly what I expected. This is exactly what I was hoping for, too. Oh, it is funny. Yeah, I could watch this for a while. But, unfortunately, we have to move on to some other creations. It looks like Santa didn't make much progress, so, if you know, you might see some delays this year if this is the new technology that we're actually adopting. All right, up next by Khan here, we have a drawing of a... Okay, and up next by Icterone, this is a genius idea, a snap launcher mechanism. So it looks like we're gonna be putting scrap mechanic physics to the test again. Is it going to work in practice the way that the theory here is trying to demonstrate? So apparently we got a wedge that is going to be receiving a block. So the wedge should get compressed as the block pushes into it. Right off the bat, I don't even know if that's gonna work as intended. And there's also a compression of the block into the wedge. So then once the wedge compresses enough, it should release... This is hard to explain. I mean, the picture, I think, does an okay job. You know what, let's just build it. I really don't think this is gonna work as intended because I don't think the wedges actually have a realistic collision on this surface. So I'm not sure that it's going to receive pressure the same way that this picture demonstrates. But that's what we're here to find out. Physics experiments, here we go. Okay, so the wedge goes there. So we need a piston that gets attached to a piece of suspension, which then gets attached to a block. So in theory, as this piston pushes the suspension into this, it should push the wedge block down because of the angle of force. But I think that's where we're gonna run into our first issue. So let's give it a try right now and just, oh, Oh, that's already exceeding expectations. I didn't actually expect. Oh, okay. Let's add some tension to these things. Oh no! Oh no, 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 no. Okay. Do not pull it back. We get severe suspension glitch going on. Okay, this needs more resistance now too. All right. Oh no! Oh no, no, no. All right, this might be an object worth welding down. All right, you're not going anywhere anymore. Okay, I wish I could get this to go slower. It's just such a short distance that it doesn't really have anywhere to go. Unfortunately, dang it, I can't, I actually can't reset this right now. Oh, there we go. I just gotta put the block back on and off like that. Here, I'm gonna put this on maximum and see what happens. Okay, so now I'm gonna go down a little bit more and a little bit more. I'm getting like this suspension isn't expanding as fast as I would expect it to, especially considering how high tension we have it on. So I'm trying to find like the best settings here. It wants to go. It really, you know, let's go one more. Ooh, okay, let's try that. All right, I think that is essentially what he's going for here. And then the idea is to have a loose block over here that gets launched, basically. So let's see how much force this actually has. This block should get launched as the tension in this gets released when the wedge goes down. Here we go. Oh no. I mean, it didn't fail. It wasn't very impressive is all. All right, let's try this again. I mean, it works. It works exactly like the diagram says it'll work. I don't know if we can really call this a projectile as much as just like a falling object. It does have some forward momentum. I mean, look at that distance there. It's amazing. All right, I just gave it some more tension. Let's see what the difference is with more tension. Oh, if that's the case, let's give it some less tension and see what the difference is with less tension. All right, this needs to go down a little bit more. Little bit more. Little bit more. Where do we need... Oh! This is also very counterintuitive. The lower the resistance that we put into the suspension, the farther the projectile gets launched. Okay. Also, the shorter the projectile gets launched. All right, I just don't understand it. Scrap mechanic physics is, once again, breaking all expectations, and at the same time, somehow behaving exactly as you would expect, which is unpredictable. You see, I was predicting it would behave unpredictably, so I was right all along. Okay, and then up last here, I'm really looking forward to this one. This is by the dude called the Moonwalking Car, and the base diagram looks like a pretty basic creation that you would build in Scrap Mechanic. Everyone likes to build these big wheel contraptions, but I don't know why I've never thought to reverse the wheels that are attached to the wheels so that the bigger wheel is rotating in one direction, but the smaller wheels are actually rotating in the opposite direction at a faster speed, which would essentially cause you to go in the reverse direction from the way it looks like you're trying to go. Essentially, that creates a moonwalking car. At least I think that's what he's trying to communicate here by the drawing. I can only really use my best guess that that's the message he's trying to communicate, is creating some type of moonwalking car. Just based off of the arrows in the drawing. I'm going on for that. All right, so first step is I'm gonna create the wheels themselves. And he has 6 wheels per wheel. I'm gonna have 8 wheels per wheel just because that works out with a grid building system a lot simpler, a lot easier. And the way to do that is just to have 2 sets of 4 like this and offset one of them by 45 degrees like that. Now we just need to figure out, oh, this actually works out perfect, I think. But, oh wait, no, the question, what happens when this is on a lift? Hold on a second here. So if I put this on a lift now, and then, oh, that works out perfect. And it looks like I forgot one anyway. Let's just try one more time. Oh, wow, that's so smooth. I thought that was gonna glitch out like crazy. But look at that. Okay, we have our wheel. That was super simple. All right, so now we just need to attach these wheels to a slab, and we should have a moonwalking car. I'm gonna give it suspension so that all of the wheels are more likely to be in contact with the ground. All right, so let's see if this spawns in. Oh, that looks beautiful, actually. Okay, so now let's add a seat to this thing. All right, we got our seat. I gave this thing 4-wheel steering, although, as you can see, this has a lot more than 4 wheels. I mean, depending on the context, you know. Is this 1 wheel or is this 8 wheels? It's all about perspective. So I'm going to have an electric engine on the bigger wheel and gas engines on all the smaller wheels, because the electric engine will have like a constant high torque spinning rate, and then the other wheels are going to be responsible for the actual speed that we get. So a gas engine would be better for that. All right, I think each wheel needs its own engine. I mean, and because there's 8 wheels on 1 wheel. There's a lot of wheels on this thing. Okay, so all of these wheels need to turn backwards, please. Okay, then the electric engine is going to attach to the main bearing that rotates the entire wheel mechanism itself. So these ones are all going to go forward. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, it's working. It is so working. Oh, that is so disorienting. All right, hold on. Let me make the electric engine go faster. Oh, this is so disorienting. All right, let me make these go faster now. Okay, can I get out of this ditch, please? Here, I'm trying to go forward. Oh my goodness, it's working. It's working. It is working so well right now. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, it is so disorienting. When I press W to go forwards, you know, of course, we just go backwards. Like, that's just how this is gonna work. And, you know, we can turn, we can go exactly how a car would go, pretty much. Yeah, there we go. You know what? Let's see what happens when we max out everything. Well, I'm not gonna max out this. I'll max out these. This is probably not a good idea, which makes me feel like it's a good idea. All right, ready? Going forward. I never thought about this. What is it when you moonwalk but you don't go anywhere, you just stay in place? Like, what's it? Ice walking? I guess maybe you can call this ice walking instead of moonwalking. We've found the equilibrium between the speeds. So now if I make, whoops. If I make the electric engine go up by 1, maybe I'll go slightly forward. No, we seem to have actually equalized it a little bit more. Wow, this is so cool. So then if I make these go down a couple, I want to find it where am I actually going to go in the direction I'm supposed to go? It's still equalizing out. But if I put this down a little bit more, we're just definitely going to go backwards now. Not that much. Not as much as I was. Man, we really need that to go to. Oh, there we go. All right, now we're going backwards a lot. Yeah, these settings are not having as big of an impact as I thought they were going to. But yeah, this is awesome. We got ourselves a moonwalking car. You gotta go backwards to go forwards, and you gotta go forwards to go backwards. And to be honest, with the amount of physics we've seen in this video today, I think that makes just about as much sense as any other creation we've looked at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you'll probably enjoy some more YDIBs. It's been a while since we've done these, so I'm happy to be back at it again. Here's a whole playlist on the end screen of all the other YDIB builds, so go ahead and check those out. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.